Could Utopia from Definity be the next big catalyst for ICP? Today, we're going to be talking about Utopia and what's going on. So we're going to hop straight into it. If you guys have not seen recently, Utopia is starting to get pushed out. If you're in the ICP community, you probably already know what it is. But if you're not, we're going to be talking about it today and why it's important, what this means, and we're going to be speculating a little bit as well. So recently, Definity made a separate account for Utopia, and I'm going to be talking about a little bit my thoughts on them making a separate account and everything. As you can see here, their Utopia Twitter account says Next Gen Cloud, unstoppable, tamper-proof, open platform for independent autonomy. So it seems the route off the bat they're going is they don't necessarily want Utopia to be super, correlated with the internet computer. Which can mean a couple things. Personally, I like how they're doing that. I think it's the right direction to take for this. But you see they're kind of trying to make it a separate thing. Now, before we get into all of it, one of the big questions is with this whole Utopia thing. Actually, we'll talk about it later. Let's hop into the pitch deck. So basically what this is it's, next gen cloud. So when the internet computer first came out, it was, kind of seen as an alternative to AWS, a decentralized AWS. And it seems as if Utopia is kind of taking that and then it's like a separate thing, basically. But I'm very, very bullish on this. We're going to be talking about it today. And here is the pitch deck for Utopia. So you can see here, Utopia, compute, reinvented. Let's go through it. So first thing is compute is a lifeblood of society that's fundamental to a well-being and prosperity. All right. So as it says here, our current IT is complicated, sometimes fragile, and cannot be reliably protected against cyber attacks. As you know, cyber attacks are a huge, huge thing. They're happening all the time. And governments and big corporations, they want to keep their data private and secure. All right. So it says here, Utopia Cloud technology solves for these issues. Reinvented compute is tamper-proof, unstoppable, more productive, and can be made sovereign. Enterprise and government applications are always safe and don't need protecting by anti-malware and firewalls. And I'm also going to be talking about how do I think the adoption curve for this is going to look like and what's actually going to happen when it comes to adoption later in this video. But anyways, meanwhile, building and administrating them is made vastly simpler. Multiplying the productivity of IT personnel. When sovereignty is an issue, Utopia clouds can be created over self-managed home country hardware. Welcome to a brighter open source future. I'm going to keep going. So it's their acronym, unstoppable, tamper-proof, open platform for autonomy. And I do like Utopia. I think this is a lot better. It's a lot easier to sell than internet computer. Anyways, let's go to this. A software technology that creates serverless clouds. So private clouds, the owner controls. Sovereign clouds on a home country hardware. And by the way, I'm not an expert on cloud, so yeah, I'm just reading the fucking pitch deck. An open app store with pre-made services, private clouds running over big tech clouds. As we know, there's, some controversy behind, it's early in the morning. Big tech cloud, with Facebook, we've seen them pull the plug on people before and all that kind of stuff. And there's also, so as it said, earlier in the pitch deck, and I'll probably talk about it later, there's some, issues with security. So we're going to keep going. All right, serverless clouds with game-changing advantages. Safety without firewalls and anti-malware. Software systems cannot crash. That's very interesting. IT builds without vendor lock-in. Serverless tech drives IT productivity. All right. Technology forged through 1,000 plus person years of R&D effort. Cool. Now this is really, really interesting at the bottom here. As it says here, Utopia adapts Internet Computer Protocol technology for enterprise cloud use. Ongoing development work is funded by a not-for-profit endowment of more than $1.5 billion. I love the not-for-profit scheme. That shit's hilarious. With Utopia Labs now adding substantial additional resources as licensor. This is how we reinvent compute. Headquartered in neutral Switzerland, working worldwide. Yeah, I really like the positioning in Switzerland. I think it's super cool. But this, $1.5 billion. What does this mean? Does this mean that Definity has $1.5 billion and possibly more money, which is actually super bullish? Should be bullish. Now, let's talk about, I put out a tweet yesterday. I said, what is, Utopia's actual involvement with ICP? I said, will Utopia burn cycles If you don't know, the internet computers run on cycles. In order to burn cycles, it's burning cycles is just burning ICP. I said, ICP, will Utopia Cloud burn cycles? Someone tell me, lol. And John Ball, who's really close to Dom's the founder of ICP, said yes, but indirectly. So that's bullish, okay? Because what we want to see, if we're just being, I'm just being honest here. When it comes to Utopia, I'm hoping that when this thing gets adopted, it leads to the price of ICP going up. Okay, it's very important for the price of ICP to go up if you're retail, or else I don't know what the fuck you're doing here. Anyways, as it says here, it says they have a $1.5 billion endowment. Now, does that mean Definity's sitting on multi-billion dollars? There's a good possibility that's true. This guy right here, who I've been following on Twitter for a long time, shout out you, putting out great content. Zanchin, sorry I pronounced your name wrong. In Zurich, the ICP owned a building. They raised $5 million in ETH when it was traded around $6. Then went out a few months ago later to raise another Giga 170 mil from A16Z Crypto, and well known as one of the top with Giga balance sheet along with Ripple and Tether within the crypto space. So there's a couple things I'm going to make a couple comments on this, because I'm not, I know this thing about the Ethereum is like, I can't, obviously it's like, oh, it's just a guy on Twitter talking, but I know for a fact that they did raise a ton of Ethereum, like a ridiculous amount before the A16Z crypto raise back in the day. So this is basically, maybe not the completely correct numbers, but damn near correct if it's, whatever, but it happened. Anyways, it talks about how, Definity could potentially have a really, really good balance sheet, and that's super, super bullish. Now, he says here Ripple also, but as we know, Ripple's token, XRP, doesn't actually do shit, even though they have a good balance sheet. And it's probably not going to ever do shit. I'm super bearish on XRP. So, not always does a great balance sheet equivalent to the token going up. And we want the token to go up. I don't know about you. I want it to go up. And, the price performance of ICP this bull market has been pretty good. It hasn't been as bad as people are making it out to be. In my personal prediction, I think if ICP hits $100 this bull market, it's a W. Because if we started at 2 and now we're at 8, we ran up from 2 to $20, $21. Now we're back to $8, but everything in the market has dumped. Solana's dumped, Near's dumped, Bitcoin's dumped. So it's fine. All the alts dumped really hard. So in my opinion, it's okay. And this right here is super bullish because, it shows that ICP is not going anywhere if they have billions of dollars they're sitting on. Anyways, we're going to keep carrying on. Global current IT costs and expenditures. Are IT personal productive? Fuck, my shit's not loading. But take a look at this. As you can see here, in 2024, there's $9.22 trillion cost of cybercrime. So cybercrime, there's a lot of money in it if you're able to, help people out. Total IT expenditure, $5 trillion in 2024. And it says IT personnel, $2 trillion in 2024, $1 trillion 2024 for software licensing and cybersecurity, $0.184 trillion. So there's a lot of money in this, basically what they're trying to say. That's, the point. A lot of money. Our future cloud platforms need resilience to data center failure. Big tech cloud centers glitch and go down, and new risks are growing. Cyber attacks, state sabotage, terrorism, war, natural disaster, Carrington events. We can do much better. Utopia creates a Byzantine fault-tolerant serverless clouds using mathematical replication. I'm not even going to pretend to understand what Byzantine fault-tolerant means or whatever. But as it says here, hosted computation data is transparently replicated across cloud compute nodes using a mathematically secure network protocol. The failure of a subnet of nodes does not break the cloud over hosted services, even if caused by a skilled adversary with hardware access. Clouds are not vulnerable to data center failures. That's very bullish. Clouds are not vulnerable to insider compromise. This also solves for ransomware, penetration, data exfiltration. This is the thing. If you're probably listening to this right now. If this thing can actually work and get adopted, it's going to be fucking huge. Once again, I'm not one of these delusional people. I'm not going to say off the bat, one thing's certain or not. I'm just saying if it can work and be adopted, this is going to be massive for ICP, hopefully. Create serverless private clouds over big tech cloud services, escape vendor lock, blah, blah, blah. So it just shows you that, removing compute nodes does not interrupt a Utopia cloud or hosted application. You see AWS, Google, IBM. Then create serverless sovereign clouds using home country hardware. Avoid surrendering data to big tech cloud providers and jurisdictions. And as you can see, I think them being in the Swiss is a pretty big thing, but it's a cloud, so it's really cool. Create mobile local area, secure unstoppable cloud platforms, run sophisticated IT applications in field environments. I'm kind of speed running through this whole thing. Bootstrap serverless cloud infrastructure in developing markets. As you can see, when geography separates data centers use, you can just go to the cloud instead of having these, hardware facilities. An app store makes pre-made sovereign services available. This is pretty cool. They're showing OpenChat and internet identity, I think. Build and host almost anything. So you can host online systems and services, AI models, digital assets, CBDCs, stablecoins, RWA tokens, security tokens, cryptocurrency, neural networks, basically the whole e-commerce, Internet of Things, blah, 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 a lot of stuff. Don't redesign applications to scale. Auto-scale the Utopia environment instead. As it says here, current IT stack, scale an application, redesign, rewrite software, scale hosted applications by scaling the Utopia cloud through low effort. They're basically saying it's easier to do shit on Utopia. Example, building a data management application / portal. Current IT stack, 10,000 plus lines of code. Utopia, less than 2,000 lines of code. You can build applications and services without web servers, application servers, database servers, file systems, catching servers, and cybersecurity. That's a thank you. Now, they have security challenges. There's a lot going on here. Should I go over this in this video? That is the question. We'll do it. We'll do it. Fuck it. We're going to go through it quickly, though, because there's a lot of slides. So the challenges of ransomware and data exfiltration attacks, as it's basically saying here, hey, there's a lot of hacks that happen, and there's a lot of money in it. So I think you guys probably know hacks happen all the time. Artificial intelligence threatens to accelerate cybercrime growth. It's saying basically because of AI, there's going to be a lot more crime and cybercrime. 10 million places of literature. Despite the accumulated expertise, current IT cannot deliver the security required. Basically, the point of this slide is saying, hey, current stuff isn't good enough, we're better. Current IT was not built, same thing. And take a look at this, a typical current IT platform architecture. So this is showing what it's looking like. Once a hacker, it's showing how the hacker gets into the, the whole system, as you can see here. And then it's showing why the hacker will get fucked by Utopia, which is bullish. So you can see that here. Network as a cloud. So Utopia is created by a mathematically secure and resilient network. Cybersecurity is not required to protect the cloud platform or hosted systems and services. So, showing that here. The protocol is mathematically secure. Hackers cannot make 2 + 2 = 5. Not saying Utopias can withstand adversaries with physical access to a subset of nodes. As you can see here. And by the way, you can get this. I'll show you at the end how to get it. The intentional replication of serverless compute can be more efficient. It's showing it right here. Sovereignty challenges. So government want to keep their cloud data sovereign. And I'm going to be talking about a little bit at the end what I think about governments adopting it and all that other stuff. Productivity challenges. So it's basically saying, hey, stuff isn't efficient right now, and you can be more efficient with Utopia and save money and all this other shit. Serverless revolution. It's talking about how serverless, and you can use all these coding language. All this cool stuff. All right. So I kind of scanned over the last kind of part, but I hit the main points. All right. Now we're going to be talking about what do I think is going to happen with the adoption of this. I predict that it's probably going to start out with a couple smaller countries adopting this. I don't think it's not going to be like the United States adopts it, right out the gate. Maybe it does happen. I don't know. But I think what probably happens is there'll probably be some smaller countries, kind of like Bitcoin being adopted. It'll be some smaller countries that will adopt it. And then slowly over time, bigger countries will start adopting it. If it is what it says it is, of course. And I'm assuming it is what it says it is. And, you know, after reading that, you're probably thinking, holy shit, this thing's going to solve a multi-trillion-dollar problem and all this other stuff. So if they can pull it off, this should be bullish for the price of ICP. Okay? Should be. So yeah, very, very cool stuff going on with Utopia. I'm actually very, very bullish on this because if it does what it says it does, it should, you know, make Definity a ton of money, which then should lead to the price of ICP going up. And I think this also kind of shows, like, for the crowd that thinks ICP would be irrelevant next cycle, even if ICP did kind of have a shitty price, let's just say, if we're being real here, ICP hitting $100 this cycle is not anything special and is pretty average. But I think this kind of proves, or will prove, that ICP is going nowhere and it's going to be huge. As long as they can pull this off. And I do like how they're kind of taking the route of not making it super about the internet computer, because ICP, unfortunately, it does have kind of a tainted reputation. It's just the way it is. The tech, you know, is real, but at the same time, the chart is also real as well. And, you know, a lot of people, just side note rant, people are talking about, oh, could a, you know, you see recently how a Solana ETF happened. Oh, could an ICP ETF happen? Maybe next cycle. Wall Street, I don't think is going to want to touch ICP until the chart is looking, maybe they will. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think a ICP ETF could happen next cycle or maybe another cycle after that, because Wall Street, I don't think would want to offer that chart to their, you know, just retail investors. That's the whole point of the ETF, for, you know, their customers to get exposure through BlackRock or whatever. But, you know, Utopia, if it does what it says it does, this should be really bullish for the price of ICP. And we also found out they have a $1.5 billion endowment, so you can speculate how much money does Definity have, which could also be super bullish as well. But yeah, I think this is really cool. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to go follow me on Twitter at @AaronBremser_. Join my Telegram. I have the most active Telegram in all of ICP, most active group chat in all of ICP by far. It's not even fucking close. Yeah, thank you for watching.